to the channel. So today I have a quick unboxing video. Probably can read right up front what I have here. It's a brand new fermenter, so new keg to me. Obviously it's a torpedo keg. I went with the 6 gallon. So if you've been watching the channel at all, and I'll try to throw a couple of videos in here and tag them so you guys can check them out. But if you've been watching the channel at all, you know that I ferment in kegs. A couple of things it does for me, obviously, uses the item multiple times for different purposes. So I don't have fermenters just taking up space. Stainless steel, easy to clean, easy to take care of. So obviously some downfalls. You're not able to typically get the yeast out of it. So if you're a person that harvests yeast, so like a conical, and you want to take the yeast out of the bottom, you can't fit a lot of the stuff on there that you would on a conical, but I'll talk about that in a second. There's some workarounds with that. From there, in terms of glycol chilling, those types of things, you typically don't have those as you go through it. So for my setup, this actually helps for me. I have an old fridge that is my firm chamber. I don't have a glycol setup. I don't have a brewing space that I keep my fermenters in. My brewing space is a shed that's outdoors, so during the winter time it's way too cold for it. Summertime is typically way too warm. But with that fridge, I can keep the temperature down to where it needs to be. So I wanted to upgrade to a little bit larger. That's the other one, is capacity. So 5 gallons, it means you can only put 4 1/4 in terms of actual work into the fermenter. This is a 6 gallon, so this changes that for me a little bit. But pretty much all of my kegs I've changed over to a flexible dip tube. So all of my kegs now can be fermenters. But again, that's that 5 gallon limit. So this is going to take care of a couple of those things for me. I think it's going to be a really nice feature. This was from More Beer. I believe it was about $165. Again, it's the 6 gallon. You can go up to 10 gallons with this, with a torpedo. It's also the mega mouth, so we'll kind of talk about that here in a second. But there's some workarounds. Brewers Hardware, I've contacted them, and I'm going to have them weld a 1.5 inch tri-clamp fitting on the top of it, so I can add a lot of the things that you'd already have on a conical. Price-wise, it's gonna be about $100 for their work to put that on there for me. So that brings you up to that, with shipping, this was about 180, 185 bucks. So that brings you there, obviously, to the 285 range with the tri-clamp fitting putting on it. So, you start looking around at Brewbuilt, Spike, a lot of them have those conicals out there. This allows me to basically pick it up and move it with the handles. Keeps me in terms of still being able to put it in the fridge. The heights and everything kind of works for me. So we'll get rolling here. Get this thing out. I have not opened it yet. This is the first time through, so you guys are gonna see it with me for the first time. I got it earlier this week. I bought it last weekend. I came in, I think Thursday. I think I bought it last Saturday maybe. So give you a good look right off the top there. So I like it because it's a little bit wider in terms of space. It's going to be helpful for me in terms of, being in a fridge. I didn't want something that was going to be super high, so that's going to be helpful for me to be able to work through with this. Love the mega mouth, so we'll kind of look through that in a second here. So, nicely printed on, in, out, real nice look on it. Maybe there's a little pressure. Oh, it's not with pressure, did not realize that. Had no idea it had that much pressure in it. That's pretty cool. Look at that opening. Nice thing about it is now, you can get I can feel the bottom, and I'm not even at my elbow there. So the ability to be able to get in there, I'm not sure lighting wise, you probably won't be able to see all the way down. Dip tube's in there. This is a straight dip tube. There is no, typically you see them, they have that kind of like a 20 some odd degree bend in the bottom. So there's none of that. It's got a little bit of the bottom there that typically goes down. But what I also bought with this for 20 bucks, this is floated. This was on eBay for a while. They're on Amazon now. So I have gotten the floating dip tubes for, I think they're 17 bucks or so off of More Beer. This one is between 20 and $25. But what I really do like about this is the actual build of this. It comes with a screen already attached. Come around and show you. So it's kind of a real nice feature there. Now you've got your washer right here at the front, screen, pulls it in. This is going to connect from this end. Already comes connected with your dip tube, already there. So that is going to then connect to the bottom of that. So I like this better. So far, this is going to be my second one. One of the things I found in the past with the floating dip tubes, so it connects here, it sits in the wort. Sometimes this can get caught on the side of this and the top of it doesn't stay down. So one of the things and it's just got a typical little ball, kind of a floating ball on the end of this. So every once in a while I found that these can get stuck. You have to sanitize something, push this down, get it away from the side. I think being a wider diameter, this I won't have any issues. And I currently have one of these in my, I have a NEPA going that's dry hopped and haven't had any problems at all with this. So it's a nice screen. Does come with a couple of washers extra. And then the last piece I was going to talk about, and then I'm going to go get this cleaned up. I'm actually brewing today. Get everything kind of taken apart, put it on my my washer, and go from there. But the space that it leaves right here, so the relief valve is here, 1.5 inches is going to go right there. And if I can do it on the video, I'll actually show you a picture. Brewers Hardware has a Instagram picture that they have out that they've done it on regular lids. Thought this would be a little bit easier in terms of having it here. So you're gonna, probably only gonna be able to open like that. It won't come all the way through because the tri-clamp is gonna be right here. It might fit underneath it. Depends on how much space they create there. So I'm gonna ask them to have just a small opening, so it should go over the top of that. But I have seen a couple of pictures, and hopefully I put it on here, that they're a little bit higher, but 1.5 inches. So from there, if you don't have a spunning valve that you can put on your gas post, you could then put an 1.5 inch tri-clamp spunning valve on that. They do sell those. It's a little bit pricey. I've looked around. You're looking somewhere in the range of probably $150 to $250 for the really nice, like the Brewbilt has one that's got the cup and everything, but it's got a T system with your pressure gauge off to the side. So it would be the tri-clamp with a T, pressure gauge, and then the spunning valve on top. What I'm looking for is going to be more, I'm going to use the spunning valve I already have for the gas post that's going to go here, but to have the hop dropper. So those NEPAs that you don't want to get oxygen into, the hop dropper would sit on top of this. Is basically a glass, sight glass, and then a butterfly valve that you can then open up, drop your hops into, close it back off. You can purge this space. You're not getting oxygen in there. And then once this is all done fermenting, you can close transfer to a serving vessel, and then you're good to go from there. So just wanted to kind of go through this quick. This is a brand new piece of it. As I said, I will try to throw the video in there. I did a video series on keg fermenting, and it's been really good for me. I've been very happy with it. I cannot complain at all. It's been something that I've been very, very pleased with how it's gone for me. So just have to understand some things, some things that you kind of can't do. So having a 6-gallon one, I think is going to make a much better difference. So I can put a full 5 gallons in there. It gives me a full gallon headspace, and then not have any issues in terms of having the crowds get up into your spunning valve or anything. So just something to think about. But again, More Beer, about 160 some odd bucks, 180, 185 with shipping. Again, the float it right here, this was about 25 bucks. So I'm at the 200 range right now. Throw the tri-clamp on there, 100 bucks probably with that, with the work being done there. So I'm sitting at 300 bucks for what I consider a really nice fermenter. With that tri-clamp, obviously the hop dropper is going to cost me probably another 100, 150. So it depends on how much you want to put it into. I would love a conical. I just don't have the space for a conical. I don't have the money to put into a glycol system for a conical to be able to keep it in those temperatures I have, because that's that whole other piece that you've got to be prepared for if you're going to be able to do that. So whether it might be a walk-in freezer that you may be able to build, something for conical. So just another option if you're interested in kind of moving towards the conical idea, but you don't want to get that far into it in terms of cost. And then also, this is something I can then still serve out of. I can take 6 gallons of beer someplace if I wanted to and still serve regular stuff. So again, it offers me the ability to be able to have, multiple use. That's my big thing, is I want to be able to use items as much as possible, not just have them sitting around taking up space. So, all right, well, I will get out of here. Just wanted to mention that. And then I got beer going out there. I'm making a Maibach today. So it's out actually finishing up the mash right now. So I gotta get back out there and get that rolling. So just wanted to drop in quick and do a quick unboxing. So, all right, guys, lunch, everybody.